Good morning, everybody. My name is Karen. I am going to be your facilitator today. Do we have any newbies here? Anyone this is their very first social? Oh, welcome, Lauren. We're so excited to have you there, Sarah. I'm just okay. I'm glad we have a couple of newbies. Rachel, this is going to be such a fun time. Lori's new. Yeah, I'm so excited. So, a little housekeeping for those who are new. Make sure your chat is set to everyone. I'm going to be on the screen. I'm going to do some explaining and then give you time to work and the way you interact with each other. And our stage manager, Jen O, is in that chat. So Jen O is going to pop on and give you a little wave and hello.
There it is. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome.
Steph, you're so funny. I had the heat on and I use my husband's office when I do these, and it was like a sauna in here. I had a sweatshirt on. I was like, oh, I got to take it off. So just by being here, you are entered in the self-care raffle. Make sure you have your supplies. Now, I want to be very clear. I pick one pin for the month and I do try to coordinate it, and I hook it to my journal, and I don't use any other pin for that month. So this might be my supplies, but sometimes I love to get creative. And if I have a little more time, you can see the picture here over to my right. I get out my little stickers and my little Kodak zinc printer and I go wild. But my journal works just as good if I just use this pen as if I go wild and have this creative experience. It really just matters how it is that I use it and am I looking at it? And those are the important things to definitely focus on. If you are someone who's been with us for a while, I encourage you to grab your November journal to reflect. And if you are not on your phone, I also recommend that you grab your phone, because a lot of times when we reflect, I like to look at my pictures in my phone, and it helps me remember the things that I have done when I'm like, what did I do this month? So that's a little trick when we're going through it. And I'm so glad to see you guys here. And Crystal, it is an early morning for me too. I'm right outside the Bay Area. It is 7 a.m. So it's early. So I'm so excited. We get to introduce the new monthly theme, and this is such a good one, and is believe. And over here is a quote from Oprah, and this is the one that is in your weekly journal for this week. I don't know if you noticed those quotes. It took me forever to stop and pay attention. They're always so good. So this is one that's actually in your journal. You become what you believe. You are where you are today in your life based on everything you have believed. And I like that. Our agenda for today is our opening activity, reflecting on last month, setting our intentions for this month, tracker setup, and learning tips and tricks from one another in the chat. And I love that some people are comparing year to year. Michelle, that's awesome. I think I might do the same. That's such a really great tip. Thanks for throwing that in there if you are a long timer. I moved to this house about a year and a half ago, and we didn't have space for the move. And so I got rid of some of my Silk and Saunders journals. And I really kind of regret not at least pulling out some of the pages, especially those currently pages in your journal. It's like a time capsule for your month. I think those are awesome. So a little grounding here as we jump into it. If you're new, or if you have not had an awesome November, Jen O and I were talking that she had the flu, she didn't touch her journal, and last month wasn't a great month, so she jumped into December early this month instead of being a completist and finishing last month. And I'm going to say I did the same. I set myself up for failure last month. Based on doctor's orders, most of you, if you've been with me before, know I've given up caffeine and alcohol for 30 days. Today is day 30. And that breaking a habit was as much as I could accomplish. So if you are trying to give something up, consider that being one of your biggest habits for the month. I could not throw meditation and other things in there. I set myself up for failure. So just heed my advice on that. So be gentle with yourself. New chapters aren't always easy. Starting over takes time. Be open to the new. Don't give up. Good things are coming your way. And when we use our journal and such, it does. Steph, I don't think it really has helped, unfortunately. I'm going to continue not to drink the caffeine and be a little more selective about my holiday drinks. But yeah, I did it for acid reflux, and I can't say that it solved all my problems, but I didn't notice that I haven't had migraines this month. So that may be some really great thing that has happened from giving something up. And I always say this, I have been doing this journal for several years now, and I've never completed every single page. So don't feel as a newbie, or even as someone who just has a fast holiday season that you're doing a lot of travel, visiting family and such. Use the pages that serve you. If a mood tracker does not serve you this month, don't use it. You're going to set yourself up for failure. You can repurpose it to something that's fun. And if that's great, that's fine. But I give you permission to not use every page in this journal if it feels overwhelming to you. So our opening activity is a tough one. I had to sit with this one for a bit. We're going deep fast. Belief really does that to you. Belief versus reality. What is something that has happened to you that you thought was bad, but turned out to be for your own good? How did your belief about the event shape the outcome? This is a big one. So I'm going to share my example, and I have a little graphic organizer here to help. So we have our reality and our facts, and then we have our beliefs, and our beliefs have our opinion, our feelings, and our doubts. And where the two intersect is that knowledge and truth. And I thought that that kind of helped me frame this writing prompt, because you may have to sit on this for a bit. And if you don't finish it today in your journal, that's okay. Maybe you wake up tomorrow morning, you're like, oh my gosh, this is what it was, and I need to write about it. That's totally fine. So for me, I was a school teacher before I was a Pilates instructor. It was my very first year of teaching. It was a very traumatic year. My mom was very ill during it. She got very sick and passed away from cancer during that time period. And it was my first year teaching at a very, very low income school in Austin, Texas. And when I say low income, I mean, when you walked around the neighborhood, they didn't have working trailer, like doors to the trailers, and trailers were literally duct taped together. So it was definitely hard. So my first year teaching, I was in a master's fellowship. And so basically they bid on you like a sorority. And if someone wanted you, you had to take that position. I was an early childhood major, but I was teaching fifth grade. That year, they didn't keep the fellows as there was no space. They were having budget cuts in education. Well, that never happens, right? I found a job at another school, and it was the best decision I ever made. I stayed at that school for 10 years as a teacher, and I became the lead for my grade level. My very first year, I was teaching first grade, which was the grade that I wanted. I taught third grade there. I taught fifth grade there. And they flew me across the US to go get Baldrige training, which is looking at systems. And so they really invested in me. You never get a free trip as a teacher ever. So this is almost unheard of. And at the last 2 years, I ended up being a curriculum coach to be able to support those teachers. So this is a time that at first I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have a job. Am I going to be able to get a job? And then I ended up making a switch, and it ended up being the best job and a great fit for myself. So I'm going to go back to the writing prompts. I'm going to turn myself off camera, and I'm going to give you time to be able to work through this. Remember, you don't have to finish it now if nothing comes to you. Sit, listen to the music, maybe pull your color page out, or just watch the chat, and maybe something that someone else says in those comments will spur a thought for you. Okay, here we go. Good luck, friends. Wow. If you were reading the chat, it was so incredibly powerful, from lost marriages, abusive relationships, horrible traumatic experiences in the classroom, um, the blessing of babies during COVID, all of these things that we have endured and overcome. And thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing. These aren't easy things to be able to share. I thought about it as well when y'all were writing, and it made me believe that losing my parents early in my adulthood definitely helped prepare me to be able to help others with their grief. And so I've always thought that is kind of one of my little superpowers. So I'm just really proud of you. So we're going, yeah, I was tearing up too. I was just like, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much beauty, so much vulnerability, so much human. And I think this is one of the few places I've experienced that just raw vulnerability. Ooh, Rachel asked, do you think our beliefs shape our reality, or does our reality shape our beliefs? That's a very philosophical question, isn't it? I think my beliefs shape my reality, but I also am open to other ideas. And if y'all flood the chat with what it is that you think, I might change my mind too, maybe a little both. So I'm just super proud of you. We're leaving the deep stuff behind for the time being. We're picking up with some more fun type activities. So the first section we're going to be looking at is our reflections. It's going to have wins, challenges, favorite moments. What do I want to stop, start, and continue? So we are looking at, should have had it open already. We're looking at page 8 in our journal. So I'm going to share some examples of mine, and then some other examples, and give you time to be able to work. Like I said before, I definitely encourage you to take last month's journal if you have it. If you don't have it, I encourage you to pull out your phone and look at your picture reels or your emails, or maybe your calendar, your Google Calendar, wherever it is that there's a history of the things that you have done this month. Mine, look there at the bottom, passport application. I am dealing with that passport issue today. I've tried 5 times to try to get this resolved so that I can head to New Zealand this month. So today is the day. So I find that funny that some of these things, this was April. I'm still trying to finish that Pilates certification. I am 3 hours away now. My body's finally cooperating. So if you're finding that there are themes for months, you're not alone. It's okay. Don't feel bad about that. So here's some other examples of mine. I have September reflections. I had my little red Corvette I got. That was really exciting. But in August, I had a bout of sleep paralysis. So there's always going to be the goods and the bads, definitely. But there's always things that I'm doing to be able to make my life a little more fun. So here's mine this month. My November wins: no caffeine, alcohol free. I taught a foam roller class for the first time. I was subbing for someone, and it was a lot of fun. I taught a turkey burn class for Thanksgiving about burning muscles, not calories, because you should never feel guilty for eating, ever, ever. And so I team taught it with one of another teacher. So we would go back and forth, and that was a really big success. And my boss at the studio gave me some really nice compliments. She said I made the world a better place. And let me tell you, she's a hard cookie to crack. So that was huge. I needed to write that down on those bad days. November challenges. Doing the cleanse is challenging. That no caffeine really rocked my world way more than the alcohol, for sure. My husband was gone for Thanksgiving. I had a cold, and I got a CPAP machine, and it is not easy to use. As far as it feels like the air conditioner blowing up your sinuses. But I'm looking out for my health, and I'm making those appointments and doing things I should have done a year ago. My favorite moments, I did a school of self-image, Desert Live. So it was a retreat for a bunch of women. I went camping in Bodega under the redwood forest. It was beautiful. Got a lot of good vibes from a lot of my clients and students on my classes. And I had a most beautiful truffle indulgent dinner for in the Bay Area. They do Truffle Week. I need to start my night rituals. I've let that go during this no November time. Social media, except for work and accountability with groups like Silk and Saunders, and then continuing my little snicker walks. So those are my reflections. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You can use stickers, you can use quotes, you can change this any way you want to that makes sense to you. And I also want to throw out there, if one of these sections doesn't call to you, you can throw a big old line through it and put something else on the top, or you can put a little piece of washi tape over it and write something else. If these categories in any of the sections, any part in the journal, repurpose it for what it is that works for you. And if you do that, we would love to hear about it. Okay, I'm going to give you some time to reflect. Don't forget to look at your phone or whatever you keep records on, or maybe even flipping through last month's journal. Oh my goodness, so many wonderful things that you guys have accomplished, from physical therapy to starting to quit smoking. I saw that in several, so many wonderful things. And sometimes when we reflect, we have a tendency to look at things that we didn't accomplish instead of the moments we enjoyed. And I think that's really important to stop and be happy about the experiences that you created and that you lived. We're not here just to pump out goals, right? We want to enjoy our lives. We want to leisurely hustle. And Jen just threw in, if you are struggling with that belief in yourself, this is a wonderful article. It comes from the School of Self-Image. It is a life coaching group I belong to. This is free. She has a wonderful podcast. And I think it's just a beautiful article. So if you are so inclined, I just had her throw that in there. No big deal if you're not. The next section we're diving into is our intentions. Spiritual health, personal life, physical health, key relationships, money management, and professional goals. Now, once again, if one of these doesn't reflect for you, like maybe you're a stay-at-home mom or you're retired, change that professional goals to maybe volunteer work or hobbies or something that does resonate with you. And then I love this little things that I am unlearning, because I'm unlearning those habits about caffeine and such. So that was something to be thinking about, that it might be something you don't want to do versus something you do want to do. But you can reframe it either way. This is your journal. There's no right or wrong way to do this. So some tips of digging into tips and tricks. You can use the theme of believe to set your intentions. And some people really enjoy diving in to that theme. You can focus on one area, such as self-love or self-talk. You can use a name of a tune or a song that inspires you. What do you want to accomplish? You can use stickers, colors, images, and I'll show some examples of all these. One thing you want to let go of, or one thing you want to start doing. These are all ways to be able to. Unfortunately, Kathleen, I cannot make that bigger while I am screen sharing. Another way you can dig into these is to look at your core values, is that you can do your intentions through your values. So maybe you are all about adventure during the holidays. And so your intentions are through that lens of adventure. So there's a lot of ways that you're able to look at these intentions. Here's an example of my month, and then I'm going to show you some others. So I went very easy, spiritual health, walks, meditation, skincare, and journal. And I mean this journal. Personal life, to go see some of my friends in New Zealand, because I did live there, and knock on wood, I can get that passport in time. I'll be heading there in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks exactly. Physical health, walking, hot girl walks, right? Those are popular on TikTok. Snickers loves them. It's my chihuahua. Pilates, my back is doing better, so I'm able to get back into the gym and do that. And limited caffeine and alcohol. I know that when I go to New Zealand, I'm going to want to have some flat white, so I'm not going to limit myself to no caffeine if they don't have a caffeine-free option. Key relationships, date nights, Xmas style. So that's something I want to dig into. I love the Dating Divas site. And so I may spend some time downloading some things. My husband's going to be gone for the first 2 weeks in December. And then I have, hopefully the New Zealand week will be together, and then we'll be camping on Christmas Day. So I need to get that stuff together if I'm going to do it. Not buying clothes. That's a goal for the month, not buying. I have so many Pilates clothes that I wear that I started investing in clothes to wear outside of the studio. And I've kind of gone through, from spring to fall, and I live in Northern California. So hopefully I don't really need to buy anything, because I don't need real winter stuff. And when I go to New Zealand, it's summer, and I have clothes for that. And then finishing my Pilates goal, and I need to pick a health coach school. That's my next goal, is to become a health coach. Crystal, thank you for that. I may be looking into that later today. So here's some other examples. The one on the left for May was me. This one did not work out very well for me, because I am more specific than global, but I took and I printed out things for myself. The next month, I used just words. It was more successful. The September, I had a little more time on my hands and felt like being creative. So I did some collage mixed with the words. The next month I had less time. And so I just wrote down the words, one thing for each category. These are all definitely things that you can do. July intentions, once again, I just wrote out words. Here's someone who used stickers. So that's a valid option. Someone who went with really big thoughts like just breathe. And then here's someone who did the more less categories, some examples that way. The one on the left is one of our other facilitators, Bailey. She used cat pictures. The one on the right, I did kind of a collage. So all of these, and I'll scroll through them, are ways to be able to look at this. And here's another one I did with photos, and then someone who wrote out sentences. So all of these are valid ways to look at your intentions, but don't forget, you can definitely personalize this. You can definitely choose one thing for each category, set yourself up for success. I have a tendency to be overzealous on some areas, and then I regret it later in the month. Sometimes I put a sticker over it and forget it if I find it. This is a working journal. You can change things later if it doesn't work for you. That's something that is really hard for me, but it's true. Okay, so I'm going to give you time to set up those intentions. Awesome. So many really awesome ideas. And Jen threw some blog posts from Silk and Saunders that you might find helpful. So this is really great. And yes, Lori, give yourself grace for the holidays. If you're like me, the holidays are always kind of hard. It's the 20th anniversary of losing my mom. So I know those big numbers are going to affect me a little more than like 19 or 18. And so I need to sit with those things and I need to give myself grace and time to process those things. And it's okay to feel sad. That's totally okay. So the next thing we're heading into is our tracker section. So we're moving on to page 10 and 11. The mood tracker. Love the mood tracker. It understands trends into how we feel, notice, and begin making shifts, bring tools into what works when positive moods show up for us. If you've been with me before, you know I am a big lover of this one. In the middle of my Pilates certification, I was working 12-hour days and my mood was happy, happy, happy. And then the next month, I was the kids director at a health club and I was preparing for our summer camp, which always brought me so much joy. I would dress up like Moana or Tinkerbell, and I had all these amazing themes. And there was Mentos and Diet Coke and parkas and color runs was, like we had fun. We had so much fun, but it no longer felt fun to me. It felt stressful. It was time for me to move on. But if I had not tracked my mood, I don't know if I ever would have made that choice. I'm going to give you a couple of groundings before we dig in. I love these. I've shared them once before, but they're just too good to not share again. Oh, what a shame. It's stormy. Make tea. I had so many errands to run, lights a candle. So much laundry to fold, grabs a fuzzy blanket. So many groceries to buy, burrows. So much cleaning to do, opens a book. What a shame. So sometimes we do need those days, and it's okay, and give yourself grace for those. And then be a curator of your life. Slowly cut things out until you're left only with what you love, what is necessary, with what makes you happy. So I put this up here before we start tracking our moods and habits. There may be things that you think are good for you that don't really work for you. And I give you permission to cut those out. Gretchen Rubin, the writer of Happiness Project and the Happier Podcast, I'm a huge fan, have been for years. She has tried meditation multiple times and it's not for her. And she gives herself that permission to just move forward with it. And I give you permission to do the same. I'll put this guy back up when you're working, but it is the feelings wheel. If you are going to use the mood tracker in the traditional way, the way it works is we work inside out and you look until you find that feeling that resonates with you. Some people like to stay all positive. Some people don't want to have the negative. Some people do. I'm using a little negative this time because I want to track my moods. And if maybe you're having hormone fluctuations or something like that, it might be powerful to use some of those negative feelings, but you do what it is that you want to do. Tips and tricks for setting up. You can use one emotion from each section on the feelings chart, a few different areas from the feelings chart, dive deep into multiple emotions from each section, or you could focus on belief for the month, for filling in. You can fill in every emotion that came up for that day, or you can fill in the emotion that was strongest. There definitely is no right or wrong on this way. Ways to repurpose. So maybe you don't want to track your moods. Daily affirmation tracker, anxiety levels, depression levels. I've tracked acid reflux before. I've tracked my self-care scale on 1 to 6 of like, if you're chronically fatigued, maybe tracking scale just fatigue from 1 to 6. You can definitely change this up. It can also be like a hobby tracker or a step tracker. The world's like, the universe is your limit. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You just get creative if you don't want to use it in a different way. So here's one where people are using little stickers that are fun. Here's an example of people marking multiple moods during the day. And then here's someone who's done a beautiful like mandala. And I like that. Here's someone who's used different little graphics coloring in on the left-hand side. I think that one's fun. Someone who's using it as a fitness tracker of like 30 minutes or 90 minutes or what it is that they're doing working towards their goal. Someone threw a quote in the middle and did more like a mandala. That stresses me out, but it may be perfect for you. You might find it very meditative. Dizziness levels. Here's an example of tracking a symptom. That one on the left is mine, a relaxation tracker. If you're high strung like I am, I bet you had no idea I was high strung. Tracking their Peloton workouts, using little flowers. And then I love this one where they have marked in different examples of each of those moods. Here's one more example where they've used a highlighter, they just keep it in their bag, highlight the two different, or putting on multiple little stickers. It's pretty. Those are Meg B stickers from Etsy. If you're not familiar with those, you see those online too. I love her stuff. Also, I love this one of the Master of the Dark Arts. Just that Harry Potter theme just makes me happy. Here's mine. I'm using happy, energized, stressed, sad, grumpy, and unwell as my feelings for this time. So I'm going to give you some time to be able to work on it. I'll put the feeling wheel up first, and then I will scroll through those other pages of examples as we go. I love being here with you guys. You inspire me just as much as this community inspires you. This is just a wonderful way to start the day and start the new month. I have one more section to dive into, and then I have a quick closing activity. Our habit tracker. Also a little grounding here. Life gets busy, doing, giving, helping, teaching, showing up, loving, caring. It's easy to run on fumes, but you must remember to fuel your own heart, your dreams, your passions, your health, you, because you cannot give if you are empty. You matter too. So I want you to think about that, of doing things that fill your cup, curating the life that you want. Don't use this as a way to punish yourself, to make yourself exercise, or to eat only chia puddings. Use this as a way to fill your cup. And if you love to knit, put that in for your habit tracker. You love to read. You love Hallmark movies during Christmas time. Add those things in too. Fill your cup. Do what fills you up, not what you think is supposed to fill you up. And it's going to be different and personal for all of us. Crystal, I love a good chia pudding too, but you know what? I also love a big plate of pasta covered in a white sauce. You know, life is about balance. I love to work out. It's my living, but I also love to enjoy healthy food. And sometimes it's a kale salad, and sometimes it's yummy, yummy truffles from Trader Joe's. I got one of their advent calendars with the little boozy truffles, and I'm so excited. I'm so down for that. Okay. Habit tracker tips and tricks. You can once again use belief as your focus. You can pick a theme: grounded, calm, festive. It's Christmas time, holiday time, not just Christmas. There's Hanukkah and, you know, all these different types of holidays. Continuing habits from last month. Do not feel bad if you have the same ones. I do too. I'm still trying to establish them. And I've let my ritual bins need some work. They need some work. I need to reschedule myself and get back into the habit. Find balance, habits you know you can do, and ones that are going to be trickier. So give yourself some give me's that you can do, that you're already doing, that feel good, to give yourself a gold star and mark it off. Remember, you do not have to fill in every line. I did not this month at all. So some people use little circles. I like this one over here in the middle, when instead of just putting X's across it, they just drew a beautiful line where they missed. And that's mine over in the right. This is when, before I was a facilitator, I was just a user, I wrote migraine through it. This is probably one of my best habit trackers, honestly. So give yourself grace. Don't punish yourself if you miss a few days. Sometimes I fill in multiple days at a time. Mine over the left: clutter clearing, dog walks, daily rituals, affirmations, when journaling. Someone else used a step tracker. Someone else, I love how they wrote unable to exercise due to my foot. That's okay. Life happens. I like the way people put little inspiring quotes all around the edges. Mine's on the left. 1 month I used, instead of using Meg B stickers, I hadn't subscribed to her yet, I marked off with little drawings. I like the way this person has my grace box at the bottom. That's so great. And then here's a beautiful one where someone has made kind of a mandala. So they use this as a meditation practice, and that's great. For me, it doesn't work, but for you, it might be absolutely amazing. Here's one of mine where I did 3. This one over here, look, once again, I like how they marked the day of the week. Sometimes, some months, if I know I'm having busy weekends, I give myself grace and I don't track my weekends. And so I leave those blank, or I could color them in with a different color. Here's mine this month. Walk, Pilates, read. That's it. Those are my habits. I'm already doing the daily walks. I already read daily. So that Pilates, as I'm getting back into being able to physically do it, is mine. And then I just want to throw in, totally random, if you're looking, I have no affiliation with this at all, but if you're looking for quick workouts, there is an app called Lindy Well. I'll throw it in the chat when y'all are working, and they do 15 to 30 minute Pilates workouts 5 days a week, and they are awesome. You use little hand weights bands, no reformer needed. And I like that sometimes it's 10 minutes, sometimes it's 15 minutes, sometimes it's a relaxing, sometimes it's arm work, sometimes it's core. I love the variety. And it's really helped me get into the habit of doing something every day. It doesn't need to be an hour workout to make a difference in your stress levels, depression levels, or your fitness levels. So I'm throwing that out there. And then here is a habit tracker for ideas that you are able to use. So I'll give you some time. Oh my gosh, we're running out of time. Okay. I wanted to show you a couple of examples of ways a lot of people, this is Jen O's slide. I totally stole it. She's so good at sharing, but it's good stuff. If you are like, oh, my sleep tracker, I don't ever use it. Here's some things you can do: a cleaning log, a learning log, a Wordle log, a bingo list of things you want to accomplish, books you've read, your workout. So there's a lot of ways that you're able to do that. So for the last couple of minutes, we're going to get a little bit deeper, not as deep as the first one, just a little bit deeper. The closing journal prompt. What is something you're trying to accomplish, but you have thought, I don't know enough? This could be as simple as cooking a certain dish or as large as a goal you're trying to achieve. So it can be something tiny, it can be something big. On a notes page, list the evidence or reasons you do know enough: hours spent training, undertaken, life experience, etc. And I love this. Don't let limiting beliefs mess with your dreams and your chance of having a great life. Let those limiting beliefs go and replace them with hopeful and inspired thoughts. And if you like this, that link that she shared at the beginning about limiting beliefs would be very beneficial here. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to think about it. But for me, I'm still trying to accomplish that Pilates certification, and that imposter syndrome is definitely popping in of that I don't have enough, I don't know enough. And then I need to list out the hours I've studied, the flashcards I've made, the teaching hours I've gone through, the observations I've made. All of those things mean that I can do it. So pick something that you're struggling with. Maybe it's just dealing with my passport today. And the fact that I was able to pay off my ticket the other day, I can deal with government bureaucracy. So share it in the chat if you like, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. I hate stopping a song abruptly, but I want to make sure we have time to close out and to value your time and end on time. So once again, you don't have to finish everything during these socials. If you are still ruminating or thinking this over, that's totally okay. It's a deep one. So let us know what you thought. Let them know in that survey if you want those numbers back on your mood tracker or things that you want to be able to see. Maybe you want to see a social where we're working on pages we didn't finish. Put that in the survey. If you love Silk and Saunders, you can refer a friend. They get $10. You get $10. You can use it to buy gifts or maybe a candle for yourself. If you're not in Sonder Club, please join us there. It's a beautiful community and it is a supportive, uplifting place, just like the chat. And if you are not able to come to a social, there is the link for the YouTube. Make sure you can't search for it. You need the link or that QR code. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to find it. I hope you're feeling ready for the month. And I'm going to take us out. The holidays feel a little lazy with the lazy song. I will throw playlist into the link, one with words, one without. Happy December, everybody. Happy holidays.
Today I don't feel like doing anything. I just wanna lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up my phone, so leave a message at the tone. 'Cause today I swear I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna kick my feet up, then stare at the fan. Turn the TV on, throw my hand in my pants. Nobody's gonna tell me I can't. Nah, I'll be lounging on the couch, just chilling in my Snuggie. Click to MTV so they can teach me how to Dougie. 'Cause in my castle, I'm the freaking man. Oh, yes, I said it. I said it. I said it 'cause I can. Today I don't feel like doing anything. I just wanna lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up my phone, so leave a message at the tone. 'Cause today I swear I'm not doing anything. Nothing at all. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo, nothing at all. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. Tomorrow I'll wake up, do some P90X, meet a really nice girl, have some really nice sex, and she's gonna scream out, "This is great."
Oh my God, this is great.
Yeah, I might mess around and get my college degree. I bet my